गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्याश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। We are in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 7, and today we are going to start from verse number 17. But what did we do? We are looking at from verse 11 or onwards, all the various cantos are covered. Cantos, the various sections of Bhagavatam are covered, and each section has a particular purpose. The first one was Sarga, the creation, and there, come. Give her a biscuit, she will be quiet. What is her name? Surabhi, na? Manasi. Manasi, come. Come. Ileba. So first was Sarga. Sarga means creation, and that general creation. General creation. Whose is general creation? Ishvara's creation is general creation. It works only on principles. Where are we living? Where are we living?
In between.
No. We are living in specific creation. Okay. So first is general creation, which works on principles. And nothing can be done about it. It's happening. And what was that? It was told that that reality expressing through the Shakti or Prakriti expresses as the Mahattattva. That Mahattattva then expresses as the three Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic Ahankar. And that Ahankar, the Tamasic Ahankar, then gives way to, with the Tamasic Prakriti gives way to the five elements. The Rajasic gives rise to the five senses, and the Sattva gives rise to the five organs of knowledge. And this way, till here is the general creation. आगे आगे आ जाओ प्लीज, थोड़ा थोड़ा. अगर लोग आज ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं तो आप लॉकडाउन में हो, यहाँ पे भीड़ इकट्ठा है. इधर एक भी केस नहीं है. हाँ, तो जनरल क्रिएशन. So this is called, as well as, and also not only that, but also the deities presiding over each organ. For example, sun is the deity of the right eye, moon is the deity of the left eye, Ashwini Kumars are the deity of the nostrils, the 10 direction, the gods of 10 direction, they are the deities of the ears, Huh? Vishnu is the deity of the feet, Indra is the deity of the hands, Saraswati is the deity of the tongue, Varuna also is the deity of the tongue, Saraswati is of the tip of the tongue. And this way it goes on. We won't go. So this is creation. Then second canto was about Visarga, and Visarga here is told is the name of collective creation, both mobile and immobile. So is there mobile and immobile creation in the Sarga? In general creation? No. It is only at the principal level. It is only at the seed level. The root and the shoot have not happened. Understand? And now in specific creation, the root has its identity and the shoot had its identity. Before, both were in their nascent form, that they had not expressed themselves independently. So Visarga, first was Sarga, second is Visarga. Vi means Visheshana Sargaha, means specific creation. Okay. Then third one came the third one is the how to sustain this this specific creation. Here Visarga, it says a causal ठीक है. Then immobile creatures, annual plants, where are we in this 11th 12th? Immobile creatures, annual plant, trees, and in some cases the mobile too constitute the vritti. The third is vritti. And vritti means that because of which the sustenance of the living beings is maintained in this specific creation. And thank you. And what are those three reasons? What are the living? Sentient life is where? Plants, animals, and human beings, isn't it? You can also, we are not adding gods here. Why? Gods come into the non-specific creation. It came in the Sarga. So here we are, because you didn't create the gods, no? The potential is from the higher only. So what are the three that maintain or sustain this specific creation? They are, first is by their nature, that means by their inherent nature. What makes your inherent nature? Why you are like you? Tell. Why you are like you? Have you ever thought? If everything is made up of space, air, fire, water, earth, everybody is made up of those five elements. What is making you so unique to Padmini, or Padmini to Kiran, or Kiran to Dinesh, or Dinesh to a plant, or plant to different plants, and plants to animals, or animals to human? And remember the three types of differences: Vijatiya, Sajatiya, and Swagata. Three types of Vedas. So what is making the difference? What is the nature? Why is your nature the way it is? Say na. Samskaras. What, another word for samskaras? The vasanas. Another word for vasana, the desires. Another word for it, memories. Memories manifested are called desires. Another word for memories is vasanas. Understand? So don't get confused in this terminology. So that is what is causing this specific uniqueness in each one of you. So that is their nature. So now you cannot, human being has a choice to behave as an animal or as a god. He has the choice. But majority of them, he can't grow 4 legs. He can't. We try to do that in yoga. Kukurasan, Mayurasan, Gardhabhasan, but we will never succeed. So first is by nature. Second, how do we sustain our continuum? By desire. We sustain ourselves. And the thirdly is by the scriptural ordinance. Now you decide how you want it. You were born according to nature because of your vasanas, prarabdha, samskaras, whatever you may call it. You can, for some time, I think in every one of our lives, we were sustained by our will to succeed, which is desire, isn't it? Somewhere, by grace of God, we got in touch with satsang. So now, see how the movement is coming from nature. Nature is only acquired nature. It is not our true nature, because true nature is the general one. We have to go to the original. That is our true nature. So this is acquired nature. So then we unknowingly we nourished ourselves by desire, and now what we are doing, we are having, instead of desire for the world, we are having desire for the scriptures. Yesterday we were talking about this, that program your mind rather than with the world by something in the world which can integrate and transcend, and you can transcend this mind. And what is that way? Satsang, scriptures, scriptural injunctions. So this is the way. So how do you, as a specific creation, living specific creation, how do you transcend this creation? This is the process. You cannot do anything about how you are born. You have got no choice. And when we are born, some are interested in engineering, some are interested in web, some are interested in laziness, some are interested in different professions. It is according to the nature or their interest, and that keeps on going. Now you assess yourself, what was that, or just watch your whole life, how it has brought you to where it is today. How suddenly, out of going into a totally wrong direction or totally a default setting, doing mechanically the same thing every day, suddenly you were attracted, or how the Lord sent the teacher or the scriptures or the guru or the day that the grace came to you. I know some of your cases, not everyone's, but it has happened in. So now what do? You keep running after the desires, or you direct your desires towards the scriptures, towards the scriptural injunctions. And what do the scriptures say? Only one thing. What is that? You are infinite. You are Paramatma. We are talking about sustenance of, nobody wants to die, no? Ravana also did not want to die. But then he did not want to die, and he wanted to keep the body also. That was not possible. He tried. He invoked Brahmaji for that. He thought he was smarter than Brahmaji, and he got the boon also. But nature has its own rules, and they cannot be violated. So body, even that Sangdev Maharaj, he lived for 1400 years, but eventually he had to give up his body. You cannot violate, you can extend, you pay a price, but eventually you have to give up this specific creation. Now, what is the disposition of your mind, of your being, in which you give up the body? What is your disposition? If you dispose your body, if death comes tomorrow and you are thinking of your son, you will be born as a boy next life. You will get a body of a boy next life. If you think death comes and you think of your cat, you will get a cat body. If you think of money, you will be born as a snake. If you, and so on, it goes on. There is all, I don't know all of it. What?
Garud Puran.
Garud Puran, is it? He has already read it. No?
You can't read it, but
Who says you can't?
read it.
Why?
If your parents are alive, you can't read it. You can only know.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
This is what I once someone called me to their Shraddha in Baldwin, and they said, Swamiji, आप गरुड़ पुराण पे कुछ बोलोगे? मैंने कहा हाँ बोलेंगे. बिल्कुल बोलेंगे। अब मैंने तो पढ़ी नहीं है अब गरुड़ पुराण, मेरे को, पर मैं फटाफट देखा कुछ यूट्यूब पे क्या है। पर गरुड़ इतना मेरे को पता है कि गरुड़ पुराण इज टॉक्ड अबाउट व्हाट इफ यू डू दिस कर्मा दैट विल बी द गति, दिस कर्मा दैट इज द गति। तो मैं उधर गया, मैं सोच रहा था क्या बोलूँ क्या बोलूँ क्या बोलूँ, व्हाट शुड आई से, एंड देन समथिंग स्ट्रक टू मी। व्हाट इज दैट? व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ मी टेलिंग गरुड़ पुराण टू अ डेड पर्सन? उसकी फोटो रखी है, दिया लगाया है, he is not, that dead person is not going to be benefited. They say he is hanging around. Have you seen him or her hanging around? Then for whose benefit is it? Is it for the benefit of the dead person, or is it for the benefit of the living person, that they must not commit those wrong acts because of which they will go to unwanted places after death? See, इसका इन्होंने इतना वो बना दिया है कि ओनली आफ्टर डेथ, बट हु इज हियरिंग?
No, no, it's not to say after death. At the time of the 13 days, that is
Nothing
when
like that. You have to understand the principle. You are stuck with the parents. If you take death to be a constant principle, then you can read it now. It is not about parents, it's about death.
Yeah.
It's not about parents. गरुड़ पुराण is not about parents. ये कहीं पे बीच में इन्होंने लगा दिया है. There is nowhere it is written, at least I have not read. If I am wrong, I may be wrong. But my understanding with this whole thing is that कि जागो मोहन प्यारे, तुम्हारा भी यही नंबर लगने वाला है, तो कर्म अच्छे करो, do good deeds so you can get good gati, you get good destination. If you keep doing what you are doing and think that you are invincible, then one day you are going to, you don't know when you are going to die, but death is waiting round the corner. So better. So same way, now that's a different topic. Let's come back to here. Nature. Second was how you sustain yourself, the specific creation, by nature, by desire, and by scriptural injunctions. So if you take it that you did not attain realization, suppose you did not attain realization, you went to Saket, or you went to Vaikuntha, or you went to Kailash, or you went to some other lok, Siddha lok, or Pitru lok, or wherever, it's good, no problem. Because if you go to Saket, then Lord will use you. Acha, if he needs some work to be done, chal bhai, go and do this job. If you are in Vaikuntha, Krishna, Narayan will say, go and do this job. Good, you are his Parshad, you are at one with him, you are living with him, and you don't feel that you are separate from him. So you become an instrument in his hands, and that's what everyone wants, that we want to be an instrument in his hands. So whether you take it from duality point of view, or you take it from infinity point of view, that depends what you understand from the scriptures. So whether you take it as going to some loka, or you take the scriptures as the last few chapters have been talking about the Parabrahma, the choice is yours. But the thing is, you become integrated to be one with the divine principle, whether it is the totality or it is the infinity. Because totality is a natural phenomena expressing which nothing can be done about. You cannot stop a rainbow from expressing under certain conditions. You cannot stop mirage from expressing under certain conditions. You cannot stop the husband from expressing if wife is standing in front of him. It is going to happen. Suddenly you cannot become a father of that wife. It's impossible. How can you do that? As much as you may be a father of your children, but you cannot, a major shift in your thinking conviction has to go through. Like Ammachi, without being a mother, she is the mother of the universe. So also, the Babas, Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba, so many other Mahatmas. Our Jnaneshwar Maharaj was 21 years old. From age 12 onwards, he was called Mauli, the mother, because he was so caring and compassionate and empathetic towards everyone. From 12-year-old onwards, he was called Mauli. So that is a different shift, but that shift will come when we come to the third one, which is scriptural injunctions. And what you get out of it is you have to keep what you call enhancing your understanding rather than get stuck in a concept, get stuck in a cult, get stuck in a idea. You have to explore. You have to explore with an open mind. And the answers are there in the scriptures. This is the third one, vritti. Vritti means, another word meaning of vritti is thoughts. What type of thoughts do you cultivate? Do you cultivate the thoughts which have come by birth, which you can do nothing about? Do you cultivate thoughts with desire, or do you cultivate thoughts of the scriptures? So desire can always, most of the time, the desire is only, most of the 99.9% of times, desire is for the world. And what is world? Again, specific creation. Again, what do you want out of specific creation? Some result in the future. You can see something now, but you want to acquire it, achieve it, gain it, make it your own, but that is not going to happen right now. So it's always postponement, but it is a thought only, no? That desire is a thought. Remember, vasanas or samskaras, that is nature, appear in the mind only as desire. So we need to take charge of them and direct it towards the name of the Lord or to the scriptures. The more the mind is purified, the deeper understanding of the scriptures will automatically happen. It's not, why am I not understanding? It's not your fault. You are not purified. Why you are not purified? Because you are too engrossed in the world. Meaning, you are thinking too much of the specific creation. So what do you have to do? Purify. Fall in love with the Lord. Fall in love with the mantra. And as you learn to be happy for no reason within your mind, or you feel you are in love with the Lord, automatically all other thoughts of the world, all other desires for the world become impotent. They are not able to entangle you. They are still there, but they are not able to entangle you. So this is the vritti. This was the third canto. Then the fourth canto was the exploits of the avatars of Bhagwan Vishnu or so all the various, how many avatars were there? I told you there are one coming, so total 10. Otherwise there are 21. Which are the, we are not going to go into all of them, but what are the other avatars which apart from the main 9 avatars and the 10th one which is still to come? Kapil Muni. Who else? Maharishi Vedvyas. And Shukdev ji. See? So, so like this, there are other, they call them, you can use the word sub-avatars. Like Veda, Upaveda, Purana, Upapuran, Avataras, Upavataras. Which are not as famous as the main 10 ones. And then, and these avatars come according to the needs of every age, and they can not necessarily that they are always human beings. We see that it started from the Matsya avatar all the way to the Purna Purusha, which is Krishna, and then he withdrew, Buddha, and now he'll come as a Kalki, destroyer. Kali can only be destroyed. Then, and what is the purpose of all these avatars to come? The fourth canto, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. It is for the protection of the needy, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha. So to protect the sadhus, to destroy the evil, sambhavami yuge yuge, in whenever it is required. When it reaches the peak, that means the atrocities, the evil, when it reaches the peak, then he takes birth. Then the next one, so this is called Raksha. The fourth canto was Raksha. So Sarga, Visarga, Vritti, and then Raksha. Then next one is Manvantara. Manvantara is that period of time which is presided over by the following six. What are they? The Manu, the gods, the son of Manu, the Indra, and the seven rishis, and the partial manifestation of the Lord preside is what is, and that is called as Manvantara. So in every Manvantara there is a incarnation of the Lord, and these six, what we just mentioned, these have to be there. So we are in which Manu, in which Vamsha we are at the Manvantara we are in the at present? Vaivasvata Manvantara. I can't remember, I don't remember. I heard the name, but I don't remember the name of the Manu. You know the name of the Manu? If you take the, sometimes they say it in the Panchang, sometimes they don't, when the pujaris do it. And do you know the how much time have we covered in this Manvantara? Huh? No? Mahatma ji? Ganapati Bappa?
5024 or something. Yes.
We don't know how many years.
But
between, suppose it is that long. Have we done 25%? Have we done 50%, 30%, 60%? नहीं अभी तो बहुत बाकी है बेटा. You wish. So from physicality of it, we are just completed 50% of this Manvantara, and we have entered the next phase. The third quarter we have entered. We are just at the beginning of the third quarter. Okay? That is what they say. Now what is the length of that? From Bhagavad point of view, it is 4,032,000 years. From Lahiri Mahashay's point of view, Kali Yuga is 1200 years. Dwapar Yuga is twice that, 2400 years. Treta Yuga is 3 times of Kali Yuga, which is 3600 years. And Satyuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga, which is 4800 years. So, whatever. You calculate, you do your research. Then this was what? So Sarga, Visarga, Vritti, Raksha, Manvantara, then comes Vamsha. Vamsha means the lineage. And Vamsha is, it extends over all 3 divisions of time. What are the 3 divisions of time? Past, present and future. So that means our scriptures already tell you what is going to happen in the future. उसमें हिटलर का नाम नहीं है, तुम्हारा नाम नहीं है, मेरा नाम नहीं है. नाम नहीं है. We are nothing and nobody. ठीक है. So what is this Vamsha? Vamsha denotes the line extending over all the 3 divisions of time of kings of pure descent. Only of the kings of pure descent. Descent. Where are we? Pure descent as sprung from Brahma. So who came from Brahma? Who came from? We are not talking about a birth from a seed, birth from, what are the 4 ways of birth takes place? Andaja, Swedaja, Udbija, English, Jarayuja. So we are not talking about the lineage of people, of persons who are born from this. See? So we are talking about those who are of pure descent, born from Brahma. Who was born from Brahma? Tell me now. We are done at just before we did?
Sanat Kumar,
Sanakadi, then
Narad Muni,
Narad Muni, then
Narad Muni,
Narad Muni, then
Rishi,
Sapta Rishi. Sapta Rishi. That's why you are all having Gotras, isn't it? Because all the sub Gotras, the main are the Sapta Rishi, and then as we saw how the Vedas were given by each main Rishi to their disciples, and their names also became famous, isn't it? So that's how so many Gotras are there. But main Gotras are those 7. See? And then who else is there after Sapta Rishis? One more person.
Prajapati and
Prajapati and Manu. No, Manu and Shatrupa, yes. But the name always goes to the Manu. So this is the creation from the Brahmaji. Now if you want to okay, leave it there.
One more comes in between, like Rudra comes up.
That's in the beginning. That's in the beginning. That's one story in Brahma Puran. But see, because something can be created only from the creator, no? So they say from Brahmaji the Rudra came. So that is fine. Then, so we saw the Vamsha, and what is this Vamsha? It is, as I told you last week, that only in our scriptures the entire detailed lineage, parampara of all these kings is given. We are not talking about every Aurangzeb ki le lo, ya iski le lo, ya uski le lo, nahi. Those who are born. So you can never go wrong. If you know your Gotra, you know which lineage you belong to, story over. You belong to that Gotra. Then you don't belong to your parents. You belong to the Gotra. In other words, if you get over this identification with parents and children, you will recognize that your identity is with your Gotra, which is your Rishi, and that Rishi is the son of the Creator. So immediately you are connected to the Creator. And who are you lost in? Only parents, only children. And this is where the scriptures tell us, okay, if you are caught up in parents and so, then read Garud Puran. After death, sorry, I should say that also. After death, not while living. So, then, after that Vamsha comes the, what do you call, the, where is that? In the 16th, 17th. Laya. Then comes the Laya. Laya is 4 types of Laya, which is Naimittika, Prakritika, Nitya and Atyantika. Naimittika is the occasional. Occasional is, you can say, every day. Occasional, you can say, how can you say? What is that? Once in a while. Which comes once in a while? Once in a while. Natural disasters. Okay.
I thought once in a while is like a full moon. No, Corona is
Once in a while. Corona is occasional. Corona is occasional. Spanish flu is occasional. These are, see, similarly, Nitya karma, Naimittika karma. What are Nitya karma? Which you have to do every day. And what is Naimittika karma? Special karmas. Like at the time, pujas at the time of birth, puja at the time of when the Janevu is done, and so on. You know, there are 16 samskaras which are, those are Naimittika karma. So, same way, what is this Naimittika Laya? Occasional. Because of unforeseen circumstances which comes about. Now it's your imagination how you look at it. What is your period of time to, if how much capacity you have to keep a certain period of time in your mind. If you take occasional to be the daily, every day, well, after 18, 19 hours of waking, then only the sleep comes. It is laya, isn't it? But if you take it from the year's point of view, year is an occasional, and month is a much shorter period, and day is even shorter. So it's relative. So first is occasional, that is naimittika. Second is prakritika, prakritik. What is prakritik? Natural. So the occasional was this diseases and everything. Prakritik is natural. What does natural mean? Sleep. Sleep is natural. Death is natural. Huh? Death of hunger. How can it be death? Huh? Hunger is not laya. It's not destruction, dissolution. The laya means dissolution. Huh? Sunset is dissolution. Prakritik. Good. What else you can go into prakritik? Think in these terms, okay? This is all where something happened and then it has unhappened. That is what lay means. So we are dividing that lay into different parts. So one is occasional, one is by nature, and the third one is nitya. Regularly it is happening. So which means, is corona happening regularly? No. At the moment it feels like that in India, but is it happening? No. So what is happening every day? Night is falling every day. So it is prakritik also and nitya also. Huh? So now if we say prakritik is every day, night is coming about, so it is prakritik. Nitya will be something more constant. What is happening more constant? Blinking of your eyes is more constant. Breathing in and out is more constant compared to a daily basis, isn't it? And then last one is atyantika. Atyantika is a finish, final. So whether you call it, it can come into prakritik also, it can come into atyantik also, but atyantik will be where gods also cannot, Brahmaji also cannot be as Brahmaji when atyantik pralaya comes about. Brahmaji also has to dissolve into its source. So that means, remember how Sarga began? Sarga was the Mahat Tattva, the infinite. Through his Shakti, he expressed as the cosmic egg. The life in the cosmic egg is called Mahat Tattva. That Mahat Tattva, as the cosmic egg opened, it expressed as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. According to that Sattvic, that Tattva, Mahat Tattva. Now, with respect to Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic Prakriti, is called as Sattvic Ahankar, Rajasic Ahankar and Tamasic Ahankar. This is at totality level. So what is Rajasic Ahankar, Tamasic Ahankar and Rajasic Ahankar? Vishnu, Brahmaji and Shivji at the totality level. All these fellows have to become unmanifest. They cannot continue to express it when atyantik pralaya comes about. Difficult to digest, but that is the truth. We only want to read what we want to read. That is our problem. We want to believe what our parents taught us. But when we come to the scriptures, we have to take some pills which are kadvi, which are bitter. So, yes, no doubt that God cannot die. No doubt you also cannot die. But do you know that? So if you know this part, what was the word that I used? Did I say gods have to die? Then what did I say? Unmanifest. Just like, do you die because you go to sleep every night? No, you wake up next morning. Imagine same thing happening at the totality level, where just like when you go to sleep, Do you remember your family? You remember your children? Do you remember your body? Your aspirations, your diseases? Nothing you remember. You don't even know the 5 elements. You don't know it is day or night. You don't know it past or future. You are in full ignorance, isn't it? You are in full ignorance. The only difference with Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh is they are not in full ignorance. They know it. But what is it that is becoming laya? What is it that is becoming unmanifest? Is it the Chaitanya Vastu or is it the Prakriti which is becoming unmanifest? Prakriti. And what is Prakriti? Prakriti is the 5 senses, the 5 gross elements, space, air, fire, water, earth, the 5 organs of action, the 5 organs of perception, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. These become unmanifest. Does God have ahankar? Functional ahankar, not the ahankar that we have. So all this becomes unmanifest, and for how long? For 74 kalpas. Now one kalpa is equal to 74. No, क्या यार मैं भूल गया अभी calculation. Is one kalpa equal to 74 manvantaras or 74 cycles of creation? And 74, one cycle of creation is the 4 yugas. So 74 cycles of Chatur yugas is equal to 1 day of Brahmaji. Then that much time he becomes unmanifest. Then again he wakes up just like you wake up in the morning. That means we are sleeping very less. It should be equal, man. We have to catch up.
12 on 12.
12 on 12, man.
Okay, try tomorrow.
Okay. So this was the Naimittika, Prakritika, Nitya and Atyantika Pralaya. These were the 4 types of Pralaya. This was told in, so what was that? Sarga, Visarga, Vritti, after that Raksha, then Manvantara, then Vamsha, and then Laya. Then this
Vamshan Charita is this.
After
Vamshan. Vamshan Charita.
So that is the Charita is there only, no?
After Vamsha there is Vamshan Charita.
So what they are saying that Vamshan's Charita is one word. That the Charita means the character or the the explanation of the kings in each Vamsha. Is it separate or?
It's a doubled actually. पहले बोला है वंशा.
वंशानु
Separately
वम
वंशचरिता बोला.
नहीं वंशानुचरितम वंशानुचरितम लिखा है.
हाँ पहले वंश बोला है.
नहीं.
उसके बाद वंशानुचरिता बोला in कन्नड़ text.
तो वो उन्होंने फिर गलत लिखा है. यहाँ पे ओरिजिनल है. यहाँ ओरिजिनल है. नहीं करते हैं ऐसे. they do it
It
sometimes.
doesn't matter at the end, but
I am going according to the Sanskrit. So Vamshanucharitam. Charitam means what? Story. Story of whom? Whatever the lineage is. So that is the what you call the seventh or seventh canto. Then next one is Hetu, isn't it? Now this is the next one we are coming to. Now which verse is this? 18th verse. 18th verse. हेतुर्जीवोस्य सर्गादेहे अविद्या कर्म कारकः यं चानुशयिनं प्राहुः अव्याकृतमुत्तापरे. He says the hetu, the cause of creation, etc. of this phenomenal universe is the jiva, the individual soul. So God is not responsible for this creation. Which creation? Individual creation. What is individual creation?
Mind.
Huh?
Thoughts in the mind. Or sanskar.
Yeah.
Husband.
So, Hetu, the cause of creation of this phenomenal universe, is the Jiva, the individual soul, the doer of actions prompted by ignorance, which some people who stress its spiritual nature characterize as having it to its credit a stock of unrequited karma, while others who emphasize its conditioned existence declare it as a nameless and formless. So, who is the cause of this specific creation? Specific, because specific creation is not Ishvara's creation. Be very careful. Ishvara's creation is at the principal level. When that you have given the name Sun God, you have given the name Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. He did not create that. You are calling it. He did not say he looks like this or he looks like that. You have said that. You have said that this world is like this, wife is this, child is this object is like this is what it is called. That this world, we are all living in the same room. I am wearing a thermal inside and he is in a t-shirt, half shirt. So creation is same. So why is he feeling hot and I am feeling cold? Because I got a jab. You got? You also got? Me too. We are not starting a movement. Jab movement. Me too movement. Not jab movement. Me too movement. Yeah. So, who is Jiva? We told, no, we didn't tell, we'll tell you now. Who is Jiva? So, expression of consciousness through the body is a natural phenomena. Through the 5 elements is a natural phenomena. Then where is the problem? When does the specificity begin? When we think that we are only this body, from that moment onwards, the specific creation begins. Understand? Because living in this creation, we see Mahatmas who do not think like the way we think. They are living in the same creation. They are having this. They are also having a body. According to us, they are also having a body. They also sleep. They also eat. They also go for shushu shishi. See? But they don't feel that they are only this body. Shirdi Sai Baba, at a drop of a hat, he will give it the food to someone else and he will be satisfied. Can you do that? Mother can do it if she gives to the child, but that is out of attachment. But no, not, I shouldn't say, but she can feel that connection. That she feels happy if the child has eaten. See?
But it is not from the inside.
What?
That we start that we're taking as we are only living, but it is how it is done from the outside.
No, I am not getting what you are saying.
No, so जीव को कैसे how does it get into the prabhav that he is only that jiva?
Just like, how does a rainbow get created where there is no rainbow? How does a rainbow get created when there is no rainbow?
Perception.
No.
It is perceived as
Under certain conditions. How does a mirage water get created and you can't drink any water? But you are seeing it. Under certain conditions. Jiva also gets created under certain conditions. And what is that condition? Identification with the body.
as only with the body.
Only this body. If it is general, no problem. But only this body, Jiva Srishti begins. So we saw Ishwar Srishti in Sarga. Now he is talking about the Hetu, the cause of this creation. Because this, the Sarga, Visarga, and all those points that we are saying, we are not teaching these points to Ishvara or to gods. Whom we are teaching? To ourselves, isn't it? Who are we? Jiva. So for whom is this creation? Call it the Ishvara's creation, or you call it the Jiva creation. For whom it is? For whose understanding it is? Is it for the understanding of the Ishvara? No. Is it for the understanding of the Jagat? Jagat is inert, साला कोई सुनता ही नहीं है. Then for whom? For ourselves, because we are the individual. So we have to resolve our doubts and misunderstandings, notions, so that we come to be that infinite being, isn't it?
Like the prasad.
Aye?
Like the prasad we get.
हाँ
It's for us only.
हाँ
It's for us only.
हाँ. तो लास्ट टाइम तुम्हारे इधर किया था कि कहाँ मैंने बोला था पता नहीं, कि लास्ट भागवत में किया था. हम मंदिर जाते हैं किसके लिए जाते हैं? We go for our happiness. Spirituality is when you do it for the happiness of the divine. But for us, all interaction with God, lighting the lamp, this, oh, when I light the lamp in the morning and do Sukharta, Dukharta, Vata, Vignachi, so it feels so peaceful, it is so beautiful, nice vibration, घंटी बज रही है. अरे भगवान को फिक्स करके रखा, खुद को मजे ले रहे हो. But did you do it for his sake, or did you do it for your sake so that you could be happy? If you are doing it because you want to be happy, you are having the ananda, you are going the wrong way. And in Jiva Srishti, in general, 99%, this is only what is going on. In every relationship, even husband, wife, parents, children, children, parent, friendships, boss, employee, employee, boss, whichever way you take. You don't come to the satsang for my happiness. You come to the satsang for your happiness. True? वहीं गलती हो जाती है सारी. मेरी खुशी के लिए आओ. मेरी मतलब भगवान की खुशी के लिए, नारायण भगवान की खुशी के लिए. But see, I'm giving you the where we are going wrong. Remember what were the three causes? First was prakritik, nature. Second was desire, and third was scripture. Now that we are coming to scripture, we are continuously getting corrected. Whatever our wrong notions, conclusions of our interactions with life are, they are being challenged. If we are going to hold on to what we have been doing, then you will keep getting what you have been getting. But if you are ready to be open to the information and accept what the scriptures are saying, then there is a possibility of dissolution. Dissolution of the jivahood. Dissolution of the ego. Individuality. So it is this jiva, the hetu, the cause of this. He is clearly saying the cause of the creation is the jiva. So why did you say sarga that happened? For your benefit. Because you don't know where you came from, where this total cosmos came from. So you have to be given a story. And how did it come about? Universe is the jiva, the individual, the doer of actions. So, and who is this jiva? Who is this ego? How do you know there is a ego still? Two ways. What are they? That is also in two words. One is bhokta, and what is the second one? Karta. So the jiva can express only as two, karta and bhokta. He does something only to enjoy. When he enjoys, he likes it or dislikes, again he does so that he runs towards what he likes and he runs away from what he dislikes. And the whole cycle continues. This is what Brahmaji is doing, this is what we are doing. Because no, you can't run out. But Brahmaji is not attached to what he is doing. We are attached to what we are doing. That's the difference. He is not enslaved by his creation. We are enslaved by our creation. We are entangled in our creation. He does not get depressed. He does not get sad. He does not aspire for anything. He does not want to destroy anything. We want all that. We want to run away. We get attached. We like. We dislike. We collect the memories. He does not collect anything. Naturally, he is the way he is. Can we get to that point? It is possible. Only for human beings it is possible. That's why this story of 12 cantos called Srimad Bhagavatam. Then, the doer of actions prompted by ignorance. And what is the root cause of this action? And karta and bhokta? Ignorance. What is ignorance? Again, non-recognition of your true nature results in the precipitation of identification, which leads to that. Identification means non-recognition. It's one, wherever there is a head, there is a tail. So either you know, if you have for 1 second you have forgotten who you are identified with the body. Simple as that. And identification with body expresses as what? Karta and bhokta. हम उसको सिर्फ ब्रेक, उसको थोड़ा और ब्रेकअप करके तुमको बता रहा हूँ. But it happens so fast. You can catch that when you are in meditation and the mind has completely slowed down. Then you can catch it. When you are a thinker or not a thinker, or you are the witness of thinking and non-thinking. So, and then you say, oh, I am a witness, again gone. Again you are thinking only. So you can't say I am a witness. If you say I am a witness, again you are gone. Which some people who stress its spiritual nature means they say the soul or the jiva is by nature the spirit. Is by nature the spirit, and true. Whether we call this I, the individual, the Chaitanya Vastu, we call it spirit, na? We call it Atma. So if you take it as Atma, characterized as having its great stock of, so why is he expressing? Because of the karmas have not got exhausted. So because of those accumulated karmas, this the jiva is expressing. Then how must jiva live? How must jiva live? To go back to his original nature, which is pristine, which is infinite, which is free from identification. What does he need to do? He must give up his karta and bhokta. He must stop being a doer. He must stop being an enjoyer. Okay? If you want to stop being, you cannot stop being a doer until you don't stop being the enjoyer. And how do you stop being the enjoyer?
Non-expectation of the result.
बंदे को याद है कल का सैंडविच खिला के ये पढ़ता करता है मेरे साथ. So how do you stop? Raga is like, and like is which gives you joy. So how do you stop it? Do not get attached to the results of your action. See? And so, and we told you last week also, or some other class, when we are doing the 20th chapter of the last canto, 11th canto, our mind goes on, thinks. The thoughts in our mind only come about past and future. You can't do anything about the memories, they are so deeply embedded. So what do you have in your control? Future? Choose not to think of the future. Don't think. Correct yourself again and again and again. If you keep your intention clear, then it will start happening. Plan and be busy with what is to be done. Don't think about the result. See? Then what happens as a result? Mind purifies. Suppose 10%, 20%, 30%, because number of thoughts is some of past, some of future. So future are becoming less and less and less because you're not giving too much attention to it. So now less number of thoughts are there in the mind. If less number of thoughts are there, a new faculty gets inaugurated in the mind. It's that much purified, 10%, 20%, 30%. When purified mind is called expanded mind, focused mind, calm mind, concentrated mind, and it starts observing which before it could not observe. And what is that? That I am not the doer of actions. Actions are happening. This is given in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What is that? He starts seeing action in inaction. So both action and inaction both are happening at the same time. In every action there is inaction, and just like head and tails. In every action there is inaction, and in every inaction there is action. I am still not moving, blood is moving around inside. Waking dream and deep sleep are continuously every day going on, but I have not gone anywhere. I know I am there. I have not gone anywhere. So activity and inactivity both are complementary. And he says, then as your sadhana is going on, you come to realize, hey, I am not doing, I am observing. If I am the observer, I am not the doer of action. This bloody thing is going on by itself. This only can come about not by thinking. It comes about by purification. Only by purification. उसके लिए जप करो, लग जाओ उस भगवान के पीछे भाव के साथ. But for that you understand the total picture. This is the way that you have to approach. And which God doesn't matter. And then he realizes that I am not the doer of actions. Then what is an action? When you are identified with the activity which is happening at the Prakriti level, it is called action. Now he has observed that activity and inactivity is happening, man. Then it is only activity, then it is not action. Action necessarily requires a doer. But you are standing apart, you are watching, everything is going on. Doership also dissolves. Now you keep bringing yourself to that poise again and again and again and again and again. How? By purification. There is no other way. There is no other way. Just by wishing it is not going to happen. तो करो, लग जाओ. क्या बोलते हैं? लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई. So this is the first part. And then while others who emphasize its conditioned existence declare it as nameless and formless, and others say that this spirit is essentially without the name and form. So both are required. So what previously was told was according to the Sankhya mark, the consciousness and the Purusha and Prakriti. And then the second part is Purusha is essentially Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Ekameva Dvitiya principle. So as long as you think it is the Purusha and Prakriti, Purusha identified with Prakriti becomes the doer and enjoyer, which is the Jiva. Jiva free of Karta and Bhokta, doer and enjoyer, becomes the Purusha, becomes the free of it, becomes Sakshi, becomes the witness, becomes the observer. What is observer like? Observer is like you are standing on the side of the road and you are watching the cars going by. Some are going this way, some are going that way. Because you are watching the cars going this way and that way, you don't start going this way and that way. You are standing on the side of the traffic. So where is the traffic going on? In the mind. Now you try as much, it is happening right now also. While I am talking, if you can observe it, fantastic. You need to get the taste of it. And once you get the taste of it, of standing apart, it's very, very intoxicating. It's very intoxicating. Because you suddenly find yourself to be so free. So free. And as you develop the capacity to stay for longer periods of time, then you put your attention on anything by standing apart. then you, by choice, you go inside and you put your attention on anything. It happens like that. But then people get lost in siddhi that way. We don't want to go in that direction. फिर नंबर भी आ जाते हैं. किसके नंबर तुमको पता है? घोड़े का नंबर, लॉटरी का नंबर. होता है ये सब, क्योंकि कहीं अंदर somewhere deep inside in your subconscious the desire is there that I should get I want to get rich quickly without doing anything. I should, so some people spend, no, I am not a gambler, but every week I get only $10 I spend on tax lotto और Powerball. करते हैं, एक जमाने में हमने भी किया है, फिर छोड़ दिया. गलत आदतें पड़ लग जाती हैं, बिकॉज एवरीवन वांट्स टू गेट अहेड. तो उस समय जीवो भाव स्ट्रांग था, टाइम लग रहा था प्यूरिफिकेशन में, पता था कि ये गलत है, बट स्टिल you need what do you call, you need not strong will. You don't need will. If you do it with will, with the extreme force, you will fall back into it also. So what do you need? You need a propulsion, and it should be divine, that you fall in love with the divine. When that pulls you out, then there is no falling back. But if you come out of will, then you will fall back. You understand? So when you are, whatever the whole process I told you of karta, bhokta, dropping the results of the future and all this, don't take the ownership of it. That all this is, I am being prompted by the divine to listen to this, I am being prompted by the divine to practice this, and whatever happens is also his. Don't take ownership of it at all. Then you see. Then the next one, 19th verse. 19th verse says, Vyatirekanvayo yasya jagrat swapna sushuptishu mayamayeshu tad brahma jiva vrittishvapashrayah. The next one is called apashraya. Apashraya stands for Brahma, the absolute, means Brahman here. Here it is called as Brahma, but actually it is Brahman, absolute reality. Brahma the absolute, which is present in all the three states undergone by the jiva, the individual soul. And what are the three states? We will add fourth one to it: Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Samadhi. So you are right now waking. You know, when you go to sleep, there may or may not be any dream, but there will be sleep. Then again tomorrow there will be morning. Yesterday also the same thing happened. So your observation is waking, dream, deep sleep on a daily basis are coming and going of their own accord whenever the sleep comes. But do you feel you are coming and going? Did you go out of existence yesterday and came into existence today? No. You feel that you are continuous. You have never become a क्या बोलेंगे word? Discontinuous. You have never experienced your own absence. So what is that? That is the apashraya. Apashraya also means that principle which is beyond the pa varga. You know, the lips is the pa varga. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. So pa, I don't know, I can't remember all the four, but ma is mrityu. Pa is phala. It is beyond phala. It is beyond mrityu. Pa, pha, ba. You know anything? Research and tell me next week. Someone take it up. So the five things are there. That which is untouched by these five is the apashraya. See how Sanskrit language is connected to that. How the language. So Om में भी तुम जाओ. Om ma. Then after that Chandra Bindu. So you're going beyond it. Beyond the lips. where the lips end, truth is not, even though it is present everywhere, but you cannot catch it at the, as long as going on, you cannot catch it. It has to stop. You have to go beyond the sound. So Apashraya stands for Brahman, the absolute, which is present in all the three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and whose states are these Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti? Of the Jiva, of the individual soul. They are not for the Brahman, the absolute. They are of the conditioned consciousness. We are the conditioned consciousness who are experiencing the states of Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Who is absolute? Who is unconditioned? Who is supporting all the conditions but itself remaining unconditioned. That is your definition. You know Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti come and go every day. Yet, and you know, so if you know, you can't be the waker and dreamer and sleeper. You are other than it. But then you behave as if you are the waker. Why? You don't even think of yourself as a waker. You only think majority of the times, I am the husband, I am the brother, I am the son, I am the doer, or I am the enjoyer, or I am the body. इसमें से निकलना है. तो आंसर, where is the answer? Here and now. Answer is here and now. But we need to interact with this knowledge deeply, information deeply. When? While listening. Wakefulness, dream and sleep, slumber, as well as in all substances which are products of Maya and is also distinct from them. So this spirit, this absolute, this infinite reality is present, which is other than, it is supporting waking, dream, deep sleep, but is separate to that. It is separate to the Maya. Where is cause and effect? Where is cause and effect? Is it in the spirit or is it in the mind? In the mind. Do you know that I am too full? This is your conclusion. Why you are too full? What is the cause? Because he gave me this much big bowl of upma. So cause is also in my mind. The effect is also in my mind, isn't it? Because the stomach is also in my mind. Right? So cause and effect happens in Maya. Maya at individual level is called mind. At totality it is called Maya. At individual level it is called mind. So here he says that this mind is also supported by this absolute alone. You are believing that your mind and each one of our mind is separate to each other. It is not so. It is not so. It is one. Mahatmas know it, you don't know it. Why? No purification. Continuous insistence that I am an individual. You have to get out of that in order to experience that it is only one mind. Why it is one mind? Because there is only one. So this phenomena will go on. Mahatmas also know there is a mind, there is a body, but they don't think that they are only this body. They don't think they are only this mind. They are one with everything. So in other words, the absolute is that which supports the three states, which supports the Maya, which supports all the cause and effects, but it is untouched by any one of them. And that is your your true identity at this present moment, if you are in tune with what is being said. Then he says, and which actually runs through all the 9 states undergone by a living organism, from entry into the womb in the form of a seed to the death as their ground or substratum, and is also distinct from them as their witness, even like the material of which substances are made, or as bare existence underlying names and form. Can you have two stones come together, embrace each other, and produce another stone? Can you? It's not possible. Two inert things cannot come together and create another thing. But how come two bodies are coming together and creating a third body? Their body is also inert. Woman's body is also inert. Female body and male body both are inert. Then how come two inert bodies are coming together to create a third inert body? Because they are supported by the consciousness. So here it is said that before birth through the stages of life, from birth till death, the consciousness alone is supporting all the changes, but itself is never affected by the change. This particular thought is given in the Mundaka Upanishad, not Mandukya, Mundaka Upanishad. And there it is told, there is a tree and there are two birds sitting, one is only watching and the other one is very fickle. He is looking at this, trying this fruit, trying that fruit, trying this fruit. Dvau suparna sayuja sakhaya. So the one who is picking and looking here and there is the jiva, and the one who is observing on what is that tree? Tree is this body. And in that body there are two consciousnesses, as if you have to imagine. One is, and that is your experience, you are continuously waking dream, deep sleep, I am a father, mother, daughter, sister, this, that. But at the same time, when I bring to your attention that there is waker, dreamer and sleeper, and do you know, you say yes. So who is the one who is saying yes? He must be the other one who is not getting disturbed by anything. So which one are you accepting yourself to be? The one which is jumping from object to object, thinking about it, or the one who is continuously supporting everything but not getting carried away by anything, remaining a witness? So that is called apashraya. Find someone who is going to find out the 5 pa pha ba bha ma का मीनिंग. कोई बोलो, देख क्या रहा है मेरे को? मेरे को ऐसे करके क्या मेरे को फायदा है? हाँ, नो इनफ. तुमको नहीं पता करना तो मैं भी क्यों करूं? मैं अपने लिए कर लूंगा, तुम्हें नहीं बताऊंगा. या तो तुम ढूंढ के लाओ. Then when now that was 19th and 20th verse. 20th verse we did not chant. Padartheshu yatha dravyam sanmatram rupanamasu bijadi panchatantasu yavasthasu yutayutam. Next 21st verse. Virameta yadha chittam hitva vrittitrayam swayam yogena vatadhatmanam vedehaya nivartate. So why nobody volunteered? सब रियलाइज हो गए क्या? इंस्पिरेशन नहीं है? नहीं, जो भी करो, मेरे को क्या उससे मतलब है. पर किसी ने हाँ क्यों नहीं बोला? मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ पहले. मेरे को अभी नहीं चाहिए आंसर. किसी ने हाँ क्यों नहीं बोला? ये क्वेश्चन है मेरा कि मैं करूंगा. क्वेश्चन था हु इज द वॉलंटियर, हु विल वॉलंटियर टू फाइंड आउट द 5 प. Everyone is looking like with a blank stare at me, but nobody is with inspiration saying yes, I will do it. Huh?
I say that try to.
Did you? I didn't hear that. If you said, then it's good. सबको बोलना चाहिए yes, we'll do it. अब मेरे बोलने के बाद क्या फायदा है? इसीलिए तुम्हारे बच्चे भी यही करते हैं. जब तुम बोलते हो तो हैं I don't know, you have to do it. अच्छा, I will do it.
I actually wanted to do it without saying I will do it.
That's it. जब प्रश्न पूछा जा रहा है, भगवान कहेगा कम विद मी, नो आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट इट. आई डिडंट वांट टू से यस. ध्रुव का यही प्रॉब्लम हो गया था. व्हेन अ क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड यू हैव टू आंसर. उस समय एकदम वाइज मत बन जाओ. When he asked, what do you want? He said, you know what I want. मिल गया उसको, फंस गया. तो तुम कहोगे कि नो स्वामी जी यू नो इट व्हाट वी वांट, या किसी को भगवान, अगर भगवान सामने आ गया उसको पता है तुम्हारे दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है. What is your balance sheet at this moment? Is it realization? Is it getting your children a good future? Is it to pay your loan? What is your most overriding desire in your mind at this moment? If he was to come in front of you and ask, tell me what you want, you know, वो मिल गया, वो फंस गया आकाश में. ध्रुव. तो जब प्रश्न पूछा जाता है तो उस समय उत्तर दो. तुम्हारे को टेस्ट करने के लिए नहीं प्रश्न पूछा जा रहा. बट when Swamiji asked me, when I told him that Swamiji, please interview me for the course. फिर वो दिल्ली हम वापस आ रहे थे. I was sitting next to him. He says, you tell. I said, Swamiji, you have to interview me. I don't have to. I have no questions. No, you tell. इतना ही बोला उन्होंने. तुम बोलो. मैं सोच रहा हूँ यार इंटरव्यू इनको लेना है, मेरे को बोल रहे हैं बोलने के लिए, मैं बोलूँ तो क्या बोलूँ. For few seconds I was quiet, but now he has said, तुम बोलो. और उस समय what was the most pertinent confusion in my mind that came out of, because my mind was at a great speed. जैसे कंप्यूटर sort out करता है ना पूरा डाटा, my mind was unknown to me. It was sorting out everything. कि क्या बोलूँ. I don't want to say something unwanted कि मेरे को नौकरी मिल जाएगी क्या, मैं जब वापस जाऊंगा मेरी सैलरी बढ़ जाएगी कि, ये नहीं है. बोल दिया कि पेरेंट्स, मेरी ड्यूटी पेरेंट्स की तरफ जा. व्हाट इज माय ड्यूटी? इज माय ड्यूटी टुवर्ड्स माय पेरेंट्स मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट, और माय ड्यूटी टुवर्ड्स व्हाट this natural pull towards studying the scriptures is coming, that is more important. And then I said this and I kept quiet. I said, and he said, phir? He didn't answer. Again I was at a wit's end ki ab main answer, I am putting a question to him because he is a Swami, but he is saying phir? Again the mind went, but I had to calm the mind down at that moment, and then I said no. फिर उन्होंने बोला फिर क्या सोचा तुमने, क्योंकि ये कंफ्यूजन था. तो फिर हमने बोला मैं कोर्स करूँगा क्योंकि इट इज़ नेचुरली इट हैज़ हैपेंड, एंड आफ्टर दैट इफ आई फील लाइक गोइंग बैक टू द फैमिली लाइफ आई विल गो बैक, एंड इफ देयर इज नो अर्ज देन आई विल कंटिन्यू ऑन दिस पाथ. I resolved my own confusion. He didn't. But I will only say this way, that in his presence it happened. ये मैं कितनी भूमिका किस लिए बना रहा हूँ. जब कोई प्रश्न पूछता है तो उस समय उत्तर दो. Live with inspiration. नहीं तो if you live on handouts, this is a handout otherwise. If there is no interaction from the other side, there is no involvement, then it's a handout. Then we'll get used to it. Why? Because it feels good when someone is talking, it is beautiful, it is putting us into a nice satsang, but we don't want to be involved, we don't want to do any research. अब मैं ज़्यादा होमवर्क दूंगा. धीरे धीरे नंबर कम हो जाएंगे क्लास के. बट यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि मैं क्या पॉइंट पे तुम्हें लाना चाह रहा हूँ. लाइफ शुड बी लिव्ड विद. नहीं तो हमको कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा फिर भी हम लगे हुए हैं. नाउ द सोल्यूशन. व्हाट वाज ऑल दिस? व्हाट वर द स्टेप्स? सर्ग, विसर्ग, वृत्ति, रक्षा, मन्वंतर, वंश. If you want to add charita also, vamsha charita, then laya, hetu, apashraya. 8 of them. Now all this is for whom? All these 8 are for whom? For the Jiva, not for the Ishvara. It's for the Jiva. Means Mahat Tattva, that idea of that one reality becoming the Hiranyagarbha and then Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, that also is for Jiva. Yes. Is it not for Ishvara? No. No, but doesn't Ishvara say that I have got my wife? How can he know if she is unmanifest? What is? Who is Ishvara? When is Ishvara is with reference to Prakriti, na? Or Maya. What is Maya? Unmanifest creation. So that which is not there, with respect to that you are calling that reality Ishvara. बुद्धू हो क्या कि कोई नहीं है, अच्छा मैं ईश्वर हूँ. If wife is not there, you are saying I am the husband of nobody. Do you say that? Is nobody a thing or person? It is like that. Calling Ishvara is a husband of nobody, of nothing or absence. तो बड़ी बुद्धू वाली बात हो गई है. तो कभी सोचा नहीं होगा ऐसे. तो यहाँ पे साधना बताते हैं कि विरमेत यदा चित्तं हित्वा वृत्तितरयं स्वयं योगेन वा तदात्मानं वेदेहाया निवर्तते. When the mind becomes still of its own accord through realization of the illusoriness of all the 8 points that are told before. So Sarga, Visarga, etc., etc., what are they? Only illusions. They are imaginations. They are not the truth. In duality, they take that to be truth. But Bhagavad itself is saying, we are not saying it, that they are not the truth. When we recognize that all these steps of total creation and individual creation are all not real, then, and how will you realize that? Only when your mind is still. When is your mind still? Before sleep, after waking up. 2 points. Otherwise, that is naturally. And other times, what is the unnatural, or you can bring about a quietness? Here they give the example, as in the case of Vamadeva and other sages, or through concentration practiced in one's current life, as in the case of Mother Devahuti and others. Devahuti is mother of Kapil Muni, and he gave her the Sankhya Yoga, the Purusha and Prakriti, and the whole knowledge about that. And then she contemplated on the Purusha and came to realize herself. Kapil Muni was another Amsha avatar of Narayana, one of the 21. And then one realizes the self consequent on the cessation of ignorance due to absence of distraction. So in other words, what are the distractions? Distractions are in our mind. What are the qualities of our mind? Mudha, which is ignorance. Kshipta, agitation. Vikshipta, distracted mind. Then Ekagra is concentrated, and Niruddha is no mind. So out of these, we need Ekagra Mana, concentrated mind. It's like a pole vault. It takes you up and then you drop it also. So it takes you to whatever we have been explaining till now. So many times I have told you that you have to go beyond, separate from. So you are using your mind. I am not the waker, dreamer, sleeper. I am the one who knows the three. You have pole vaulted. Now you drop it. Now stop thinking. Stay there. Look at the whole life from that point of view. That I am pervading everything. I am everything. And slowly, slowly it will happen. It will not happen. You have to continuously apply yourself there. So that is with effort. It is not happening naturally. Naturally it will happen when you are done, at relative level. We are done sadhana in this life. If we don't realize, then next life the sadhana will continue. You build upon it, and again you miss it, and then again you build upon it, and slowly, slowly, maybe in this or next life you will come to know. Like every day we are trying something, doing sadhana. Maybe within this life, someday it will suddenly click. if we are genuinely, sincerely, faithfully pursuing it, accepting it, that I am that absolute in essence. And understand, so where is this total creation and the general creation, which is based on principles, Ishvara Srishti, the phenomena, and the specific creation? Where is it? Where is it? In the mind. And where is the mind? Show me. Who said in the body? तूने? इतनी पंचदशी सुनने के बाद in the body? Where is the mind? Yes, we did say the body is made up of Manomaya Kosh and Vijnanmaya Kosh. We did say that. But now in this present context, where is the mind? Has anyone ever seen the mind like I am seeing you? I have seen thoughts. I can know my thoughts coming and going. But can you see mind coming and going? So where is mind? It is only a phenomena. It's only a phenomena. Just like that rainbow, just like that mirage waters. It is not the reality. So he who contemplating on this, and this happens through satsang. Regularly you listen, धीरे 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 click होता रहेगा. In between there will be struggle, क्योंकि you have invested so much into this specific creation. Now to get out of the specific creation, it's painful, man. It's painful. You ask these people who have spent so much money in building a house, and the fire came and now everything is destroyed, the floods came, everything is destroyed. And if they haven't had insurance, how much pain it will be? Because the investment. Now two things, either they lose the plot of life, they become bitter towards life, they become bitter towards all those people who have something or their property was not touched, or unlike those people whom I asked the question just before and who did not reply with inspiration, they get back on their feet and put the efforts and rebuild what was taken away and face the life. Haven't you gone through that? Haven't we all gone through that sometime or the other? Then why it becomes so difficult? Oi! Too much noise coming at the back. Then why does it become so difficult when it comes to spirituality? So many times we have fallen down, we have pulled ourselves up, because what other choice we have? Yeah, we have many choices, but we chose the correct one, isn't it? Then why does it become so difficult when it comes to Adhyatma?
Probably because it means you've got to be unconventional.
Whatever. I'm not answering. You have to check within you what is holding you back. What is holding you back? That's your answer. Each one is unique. They have to find out their answers. What is holding them back? I am talking from principle point of view, that every one of you has many times fallen down and you have lifted yourself up. Have you ever thought that I have fallen into Jivahood, I need to raise myself to Paramatma, and I am essentially the Paramatma? Why hasn't that caught your imagination yet? Or maybe it has. I'm no one to question you, but I'm just putting the case in front of you. So with the earnestness with which we rebuild our business, or we learn to walk, or we learn to rehabilitate ourselves, with that urgency and earnestness, why don't we put efforts to come to recognize that we are that Paramatma? In essence, we are that Paramatma. Think.
Probably it does to everyone, but it only happens in moments. It has to be continuous.
So, true. Who is stopping you to make it continuous? Nobody has stopped. So, if you have recognized that it is only in moments, so isn't that good enough data to make it continuous? What is stopping you? What is stopping us is our mind or the self getting distracted by the specific creation. And it all begins from this specific, that I am only this body. And this can be overcome only by grace. While living in the body, only by grace. You have to think of the non-specific. You have to think of the total or the infinite. That is the only antidote for it. No amount of interaction with this specific creation is going to make you transcend it. So, no amount of coming to satsangs. If this satsang is only mechanical, चलो सत्संग हो गया स्वामी जी, 8:30 बज गए, कब खत्म कर रहे हो, कितना लंबा, 3 क्लासेस से यही चैप्टर ले रहे हो, आगे बढ़ ही नहीं रहे, क्यों? आज समोसे बने हैं, समोसा चाट है. Is that your motivation? Is getting together with people motivation? So then it becomes mechanical. But circumstances are the same. Every Saturday the circumstances are same. I am also speaking the same thing in almost in every classes from different angles. See how much, if I am taking, कितना बुद्धू हूँगा मैं, ये सोचो कि कितनी क्लासेस ले रहा हूँ फिर भी क्लिक नहीं होता. सोचो. So, are we taking this opportunity that we are in the satsang, we are listening, and while listening, we are coming to that poise of the self? Or are we justifying the specific creation as the reality? What is specific creation? Samosa chaat. आ जाओ भाई समोसा चाट खाने के लिए, मैं प्रसाद में दिखाऊंगा. इसलिए आज भीड़ ज्यादा है यहाँ पे. मेरे ख्याल से किसी ने the rumor spread that samosa chaat is coming. So suddenly we are 20-25 people here today. So here I am not pointing anyone, but understand this. This is how we are functioning as a jiva, and to transcend the jivahood, these things have to be understood. So sarga, visarga, vritti, hetu, vamsha, charita, and raksha, etc., etc., etc. All these are imaginations of, they are ephemeral, they are phenomenal, they are temporary, they are finite, they are only imaginations given by the scriptures for the jiva to teach him some principles of life. That's all. But we get lost in stories. But कलयुग में ऐसे ही होता है, क्या करेंगे? Till you get inspired and fall in love with the Lord. That's why so many avatars. साला एक से नहीं फंसे तो दूसरे में तो फंसोगे, दूसरे ने तो 21 दे दिए फिर भी नहीं फंसे. भगवान कहता है मैं हार गया. I have lost. So again and again avatars are coming. We don't know which one will click with you. For him it is Narasimha avatar. For me, once upon a time it was Ram, then it became Krishna. Where बीच में confusion, सबके सब, कभी ये आता है कभी वो आता है, फिर पागल हो गया यार, ये सबके सब कहाँ से आ रहे हैं. फिर उसके बाद मैंने उसको रिजॉल्व करने के लिए मैं कहा मैं किसी को पकड़ूंगा ही नहीं, मैं ओम बोलने लगा. See, and then going to the ashram, studying the scripture, then understanding, अरे साले सबके सब, I understood that they were one, but why they are one I didn't know. Now I know. So there is no confusion. So whoever comes, it's okay, but I'll hold on to my mantra, that's all. See? Now last few verses, quickly let's conclude. एवं लक्षण लक्ष्याणि पुराणानि पुराविदः मुनयोष्टादश प्राहुः Shullakani Mahanti cha. Sages well versed in the antiquities of tell us of 18 Puranas, big and small in volume, distinguished by the aforesaid characteristics. So all the Puranas have these the various sections, Sarga, Visarga, Vritti, Raksha, etc. etc. And how many of them are there? 18, Ashtadasha, 18 big and small. Big and small, so 18 big and 18 small. 18 Puranas and 18 Upapuranas. So total 36. The 18 Puranas, now he is giving the name Brahmam, Padmam, Vaishnavam cha, Shaivam, Laingam, Sagarudam, Naradiyam, Bhagavatam, Agneyam, Skanda Sanjnitam, Bhavishyam, Brahma Vaivartam, Markandeyam, Savamanam, Varaham, Matsya, Kaurmam, Karmam cha, Brahmandakhyamiti Trishat, Brahmanidam Samakyatam, Shakha Pranayanam Munehe, Shishya Shishya Prashishyanam, Brahmatejo Vivardhanam. He says the 18 Puranas go by the names of Brahma Puran, Padma Puran, Vishnu Puran, Shiva Puran, Linga Puran, Garuda Puran, Narada Puran, Bhagavata Puran, Agni Puran, Skanda Puran, Bhavishya Puran, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Markandeya Puran, Vamana Puran, Varaha Puran, Matsya Puran, Kurma Puran, and Brahmanda Puran. And what we are doing right now is Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuran. That is what we are doing. So here it is only given as Bhagavata. So in this way has been duly narrated by me, O Brahmana sage. Who is the Brahmana sage? Don't forget the context. Brahmana sage is Shaunakadi Rishi. And who is giving the lecture? Sut Maharaj. In this way has been duly narrated by me, O Brahmana sage, the story as to how the sage Veda Vyasa and his pupils, their own pupils and pupils of their pupils, classified the Vedas into so many branches, a story which intensifies to a great extent the Brahminical spiritual glory of those who listen to it. So this is how it has been passed down to us, and that we are reading in this particular format given by Brahmaji. Don't forget the originator. Originator was Brahmaji in Chatushloki. He gave it to the Sanat Kumaras, to Narada, to then it came to Vedvyasa. From Vedvyasa it came to Shukdevji Maharaj, and also from Vedvyasji it went to all the other rishis, and eventually it has come at that time. Vedas, when they say Vedas, it is the Shrutis, then the Smritis. So there were many of these. So Vedvyasji Maharaj was not writing every one of them. There were so many sages that time, and everyone was having some story of Shiva, some story of this, some story of Narayana, different avatars, and then they were all collated together, and then they were divided into these parts the way we know it today, under the guidance of Maharishi Vedvyas. Bolo Srimad Bhagvat Mahapuran ki jai. So we'll conclude here today. We will not continue further. Jaldi kar dete aaj for a change. इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां द्वादशस्कन्धे सप्तमोऽध्यायः. Thus ends the 7th discourse in book 12 of the great and glorious Bhagavad Puran, otherwise also known as Paramhamsa Samhita. And next chapter will be about the sage Markandeya embarks on a course of austerities and receives a boon. So now again a question will be asked by Shaunakji. So Bhagavad Mahapuran concluded before, but now this was all extra information about, because the student, the Shaunakadi asked Suta Maharaj, why, how are the Vedas divided? So this whole chapter began. Now that is also done. Now technically it's all over already. But when such dialogue is going on, you want to continue the satsang. When we were in the ashram, we didn't want the 2 years to get over. हम कहते हैं स्वामी जी कोई सिद्धि लगाओ, टाइम को स्लो करो, जैसे कृष्ण भगवान ने सूर्यास्त को स्लो कर दिया था. Then he used to laugh because we wanted to continue listening to the scriptures, the nectarine words coming out from the teacher's mouth, and we were so in tune that we were just in tune, not only with the words that are coming, but those words which are coming are triggering the discrimination, and we just are with ourselves at that moment. See, ये होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए. इसमें दोनों की बात है, दोनों की. Teacher should also be of that caliber, the student also should be of that caliber. It doesn't happen one way, it has to happen both ways. So with this we will conclude for today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.